What if I told you the answer to one of our oldest, most human problems, loneliness, isn't another person, but a machine? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a movie, but some pretty wild new research says it might be way closer to reality than you'd think. All right, let's get into it. So, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand the scale of the problem we're talking about. Get this. Some recent estimates say that up to 60% of people in the US report feeling chronically lonely. This isn't just about feeling a little down now and then. It's a full-blown public health crisis. And yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at here. It's gotten so serious that countries like the US, the UK, and even Japan have officially called loneliness an epidemic. So, what exactly is this feeling we're trying to solve? Okay, there's a lot of sciencey words there, but the two that really matter are subjective and discrepancy. See, loneliness isn't just about how many people you have around you. It's about that painful, nagging gap between the connection you have and the connection you wish you had. It's a feeling, not a headcount. So, with that massive problem on the table, a totally new kind of technology has popped up, offering a very 21st century solution. We're not just talking about any AI, but an AI companion. So what makes this different from, say, the AI you might use to write an email? Well, this really gets to the heart of it. It's all about the goal. An AI assistant like ChatGPT is a tool. It's there to do a job, but an AI companion, its entire reason for existing is to be relationship-focused. It's designed from the ground up to be empathetic and to build a long-term bond. And people are absolutely using them for exactly that. I mean, just read this review from a real user. It says it all, right? They're not trying to get a task done. They're looking for company. And that's the promise we're going to explore. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. It's a really cool idea, but is there any actual hard evidence that this stuff works? Can an app really move the needle on a feeling as deep and as human as loneliness? Well, a team of researchers from Harvard Business School and Wharton wanted to find out. They set up an experiment to answer this one very specific question. Can a simple conversation with some lines of code actually make a person feel more connected?
And the results were kind of shocking, honestly. Just look at this chart. It shows people's loneliness levels before and after just a 15-minute chat. If you look at the bars for the chatbot, you can see a huge, unmistakable drop in loneliness after they talked. But just how big was that drop? Well, get this. The reduction in loneliness after talking to the AI was pretty much identical to talking with another human. And then compare that to what a lot of us do when we feel lonely, just zoning out to YouTube. As you can see, that had basically no effect at all. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Sure, it works once, it's new, it's kind of weird and interesting, but what happens after a few days? You know, when the novelty wears off? Does it still work? Great question. So the researchers had people chat with an AI every single day for a week. Now, see that solid black line on the graph? That's the loneliness score after their daily chat. Notice how it stays low, day 1, day 2, all the way to day 7. So nope, this was definitely not just a one-time fluke. All right, so we've established that it works, and the effect is consistent, but why? What's the secret sauce? What's the psychological mechanism that makes a piece of software so good at soothing such a deeply human feeling? So what is that secret ingredient? Well, to figure that out, the researchers got really clever. They basically designed a showdown, pitting different kinds of AI against each other to see which one actually made a difference. Here was the setup. One group got the empathetic AI companion we've been talking about. Another group got a standard AI assistant, helpful but kind of neutral. And the last group got a really basic bot that could do math and not much else. The important thing is they were all built on the same core technology. And the results? They were crystal clear. Just look at the bar all the way on the right for the AI companion. That is the only one that caused a significant drop in loneliness. The regular assistant barely made a dent. The basic bot, nothing. So here's the big aha moment. The magic ingredient isn't how smart the AI is or how perfect its answers are. The key, the whole secret, is the simple, powerful, and very human feeling of being heard. It's that perception that you're being met with attention, with empathy, with respect. That's what makes you feel like you matter. But all of this builds to what I think is the most surprising twist in this whole story. And it has less to do with AI and a whole lot more to do with, well, us.
You see, it turns out we humans have this little quirk called an effective forecasting error. It's just a fancy term for a simple idea. We are really, really bad at predicting how we're going to feel in the future. And this study showed we are especially bad at it when it comes to AI. Let's jump back to that first chart for a second, but this time, look at the top half. This part shows what people predicted they would feel. See the chatbot section? They expected to feel just as lonely after the chat as they did before. But we already know from the bottom half what the reality was. A huge drop. That massive gap, that's our misprediction in action. We tell ourselves, come on, it's just a machine. This is weird. There's no way it's going to help me feel connected. But the reality, the actual data, says that after the chat, loneliness is significantly reduced. We just consistently underestimate how much this technology can actually provide emotional support. So let's tie this all together. Here's what you need to remember. 1. Loneliness is a massive, serious problem. 2. Empathetic AI can be a shockingly effective tool to fight it, as effective as talking to another person. 3. The secret isn't some tech wizardry. It's the simple act of making someone feel heard. And 4, maybe our own skepticism is the biggest thing holding us back. And, I don't think anything sums it up better than this quote from someone who was actually in the week-long study. The way they go from, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel, to, it's become a rather pleasant routine, that perfectly captures the whole journey this research uncovered. And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. If a machine's greatest strength is its ability to make us feel truly heard, a skill that, let's be honest, can sometimes be in short supply in our human relationships, what does that mean for the future of connection itself? It's a question we're all going to be answering, one conversation at a time.